Back to India Business Hour. Amitabh Chaudhry can take Axis Bank to the next level. That's the word from the top management of one of the key investor in the bank, Bain Capital. Speaking exclusively to Nisha Poddar, for the first time since the investment, the Bain Capital top brass is hopeful that Axis Bank will clean up its books soon.
John, help me understand what was the investment philosophy behind the most recent and the largest transaction that was done by Bain Capital in India by buying stake in Axis Bank?
First of all, I think, as you look at our strategy, I think we're trying to find businesses that haven't really reached their full potential. We're trying to find a business that is misunderstood by the marketplace. Particularly public marketplaces oftentimes look more towards the short-term results rather than the secular trends for a particular business. So in the case of Axis, or frankly any of our investments that we make, we're looking beyond sort of the conventional wisdom of the moment, looking at the full potential of the business, and oftentimes it's misunderstood by the market. When we look at the secular trends of private lending in India, when we look at the competitive position and the strength of some of the businesses that sit inside Axis, or any of other businesses we've invested in, they oftentimes look at dislocations in the short term, but we're looking at the long-term potential. And if we can partner with management, we can build the strategy and look at the 3 to 5 year view of what can be the secular outcomes from that industry and then the competitive position. And we were very excited about that prospect. We have a lot of wood to chop, a lot of work to do, but that's the kind of thesis that really allows private equity to do what it does best, which is look beyond the current moment to the long term.
And I think what we'd hope to see in Axis is that the management team is able to basically reposition the bank, is able to take the capital that we've infused to go in and clean up the book. They've been taking accelerated provisions with RBI's under RBI's diktat, and hopefully the strategy is then able to play out. So time will tell. Let's see how it plays out. But we're hoping that it'll turn out to be a good investment.
Since you're talking for the first time after your Axis investment, let me probe you a little more. This was considered a risky asset, especially from the point of view of the large corporate lending, and you don't know how many risks are involved there. Now, what is the kind of risk-reward trade-off that you did, and what is the assessment in terms of risky scenarios that you really did? Was it a difficult trade to zero in on?
You see, Nisha, at the end of the day, we are a high return investor, and so we obviously, when we make our investments, we do so with the hope that they generate returns in excess of what market participants expect. And that means sometimes taking a longer term view, which, making contrarian bets, and our hope in this case is that, we are making a contrarian bet, and time will tell whether we are right or we're wrong. So let's wait and see how it plays out.
All right. So in 1 year almost of investment, you invested close to about 500 rupees per share. It is closer to 600 rupees per share, but market volatility has also been extreme. Now, the most recent development there, and Amitabh Chaudhry for a very long time, so appointed as the CEO of Axis Bank. What is his immediate mandate as the top leader of Axis Bank at a time like this? And as a financial investor, a large one at that, what is it that you're expecting from him?
Well, I think he's still not joined, so let's wait for him to come on board. But obviously, as he's someone who is very well regarded, and if you look at the analyst commentary on his appointment, the market analysts have really welcomed his appointment as someone who has an exceptional track record, and the expectations are very high that he'll be able to take this platform to the next level, as he was able to create extraordinary shareholder returns in case of HDFC Standard Life.
That's all.